What pivotal moment turned the tide and led to the peaceful conquest of Mecca, forever altering the course of history? How did a city deeply rooted in ancient traditions and hostility towards Islam become the heart of a new spiritual and political order without the expected bloodshed? Let us find out in today's video. Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel, Naseeha Studio. In this video, we will be talking about how the Holy Mecca was conquest. The key moment was when the Quraysh tribe broke a peace agreement with the Muslims. Instead of seeking revenge, the Prophet Muhammad led a large, organized army towards Mecca. The Quraysh, seeing they couldn't win and fearing violence, chose to surrender peacefully. This changed Mecca from a city against Islam to the center of the new Muslim faith and power, all without the expected bloodshed. In the year 630 AD, Mecca was a city with deep traditions and a rich history. For years, there had been tensions between the Muslims of Medina and the Quraysh of Mecca. A peace treaty, known as the Treaty of Hudaybiyah, had brought a temporary halt to the fighting. However, the Quraysh broke this treaty, bringing back old conflicts and setting the stage for a crucial showdown. In Medina, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, received the news of the broken treaty. He saw this as a key moment to change the future. With a mix of determination and faith, he gathered his followers. They began a journey that would change history forever. This journey was more than just a march of warriors. It was a pilgrimage of faith, belief, and hope. What followed was the peaceful conquest of Mecca, an event that turned enemies into friends and redefined the spiritual heart of the Islamic world. The conquest of Mecca became a shining example of strong leadership, faith, and forgiveness, showing a new way to resolve conflicts and lead a community. The gathering. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, received the alarming news of the Quraysh breaking the Treaty of Hudaybiyah. Understanding the gravity of the situation, he knew it was time for decisive action. He called upon his followers, who had been steadfast and loyal through many trials. In Medina, the Muslims gathered around Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. He spoke to them with clarity and resolve, explaining the need to respond to the Quraysh's actions. The atmosphere was charged with anticipation and determination. Secret preparations began as they planned their journey to Mecca with the aim of avoiding unnecessary bloodshed. The preparations were meticulous, supplies were gathered, strategies were discussed, and every detail was considered. The goal was clear: to reclaim Mecca and bring peace to the region. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, emphasized the importance of discipline, unity, and faith in Allah. With a force of 10,000 strong, the Muslims were ready. This was not just an army, it was a community bound by faith and a shared vision for a peaceful future. The stage was set for a journey that would change the course of history. As the preparations continued, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, ensured that secrecy was maintained to avoid alerting the Quraysh. Scouts were sent out to gather information, while leaders were appointed to oversee various aspects of the mission. The sense of purpose among the Muslims was palpable. They understood the significance of what lay ahead and the impact it would have on the future of Islam. Families in Medina bid farewell to their loved ones, offering prayers for their safety and success. The entire community came together, united by a common cause. The anticipation grew with each passing day as everyone awaited the moment of departure. Finally, the day arrived. The Muslims set out from Medina, a powerful and disciplined force moving with a shared determination. As they journeyed through the desert, the hardships and challenges they faced only strengthened their resolve. The scorching heat, the long days of travel, and the uncertainty of what lay ahead tested their endurance, but their faith kept them steadfast. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, led his followers with wisdom and compassion, providing guidance and encouragement at every step. His leadership inspired confidence and trust among the Muslims, who were willing to face any obstacle to achieve their goal. As they drew closer to Mecca, the anticipation reached its peak. The Muslims could sense that they were on the brink of something monumental. The air was thick with anticipation, and their hearts were filled with hope and determination. The stage was set for the peaceful conquest of Mecca, a moment that would forever alter the course of history. With their faith as their guide and Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, as their leader, the Muslims were ready to fulfill their destiny and bring peace to the region. The march to Mecca. With their preparations complete, the Muslims began their journey from Medina to Mecca. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, led the way, his presence a source of strength and reassurance for the 10,000 strong who followed him. This was not merely a march of an army, it was a pilgrimage of faith, unity, and resolve. As they set out, the journey through the desert presented numerous challenges. The scorching sun beat down on them relentlessly, and the vast expanse of sand seemed endless. Yet, their determination never wavered. Each step taken was fueled by their unwavering belief in their cause and their trust in Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. The Muslims moved with discipline and order, maintaining a pace that allowed the entire group to stay together. Along the way, they camped in the evenings, lighting fires that flickered against the night sky. These moments of rest were filled with prayer, contemplation, and the sharing of food and water. The sense of camaraderie and shared purpose strengthened their bond. As they marched, they encountered various tribes and communities. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, ensured that their approach was peaceful and respectful. They sought to avoid unnecessary confrontations, focusing instead on their ultimate goal, the peaceful conquest of Mecca. This approach earned them respect and support from many who witnessed their resolve and discipline. Days turned into weeks as they continued their journey. The hardships of the desert tested their endurance, but their faith kept them strong. They moved with a quiet determination, their hearts set on the horizon where Mecca lay. As they drew closer to Mecca, the anticipation among the Muslims grew. The city, with its towering mountains and ancient structures, loomed ever larger in the distance. The significance of what they were about to undertake weighed heavily on their minds, yet it also filled them with a sense of purpose and destiny. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, remained a constant source of guidance and inspiration. His leadership was marked by wisdom, compassion, and strategic foresight. He made sure to remind his followers of the importance of maintaining peace and avoiding unnecessary bloodshed. His vision was clear: to reclaim Mecca not through force, but through faith and forgiveness. The final approach to Mecca was made with great care. Scouts were sent ahead to gather information and ensure that the path was clear. The Muslims knew that their success depended on maintaining the element of surprise and avoiding direct confrontation with the Quraysh. As they reached the outskirts of Mecca, the tension was palpable. The Muslims camped just outside the city, their fires illuminating the night. It was a time of prayer and contemplation as they prepared themselves for the final steps of their journey. Dawn broke, and with it came the moment they had all been waiting for. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, led his followers towards Mecca. The city that had once been a place of persecution and conflict was now within their grasp. The Muslims moved forward with a sense of calm and purpose, their hearts filled with hope and determination. The peaceful conquest of Mecca was about to unfold, a moment that would forever change the course of history. With their faith as their guide and Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, as their leader, the Muslims were ready to fulfill their destiny and bring peace to the region. The night before, as the Muslims camped just outside Mecca, the atmosphere was charged with anticipation. The fires lit up the night, casting a warm glow over the camp. It was a night filled with both tension and hope as they prepared for the historic moment that lay ahead. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, moved through the camp, offering words of encouragement and guidance. His presence brought comfort and reassurance to his followers. He reminded them of the importance of their mission and the principles they must uphold. This was not a conquest of force, but a mission of faith, peace, and reconciliation. Throughout the camp, groups of Muslims gathered in prayer. The night air was filled with the soft murmurs of supplication as they sought strength and guidance from Allah. The unity among them was palpable, each person connected by a shared purpose and a deep faith. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, held a meeting with his key leaders. They discussed the final details of their plan, ensuring that everyone understood their role. The strategy was clear. They would enter Mecca with humility and discipline, avoiding any unnecessary bloodshed. The goal was to reclaim the city peacefully and to win over the hearts of its people through compassion and mercy. As the night progressed, a quiet resolve settled over the camp. The Muslims knew that the coming day would be one of immense significance. They reflected on the journey that had brought them here, the hardships they had endured, and the strength of their faith that had guided them through. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, spent time in deep contemplation and prayer. He was acutely aware of the responsibility that rested on his shoulders. The peaceful conquest of Mecca was not just a military campaign, it was a profound moment in the history of Islam. It was an opportunity to demonstrate the values of forgiveness, mercy, and unity that lay at the heart of their faith. As dawn approached, the camp stirred to life. The Muslims prepared themselves for the final steps of their journey. There was a sense of solemnity and purpose in their movements. They knew that their actions on this day would echo through history. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, addressed his followers one last time. His words were filled with hope and determination. He reminded them of the significance of their mission and the need to uphold the highest standards of conduct. They were not just warriors, they were representatives of their faith, carrying the message of Islam to the people of Mecca. With the first light of dawn, the Muslims began their march towards Mecca. The city that had once been a place of persecution and conflict was now within their reach. They moved forward with a sense of calm and purpose, their hearts filled with hope and determination. The night before the conquest of Mecca had been a time of reflection, prayer, and preparation. As they approached the city, the Muslims were ready to fulfill their destiny. They were guided by their faith, inspired by their leader, and united in their mission to bring peace to the region. The stage was set for a momentous event that would forever change the course of history. The entry into Mecca. As dawn broke, the Muslims began their final approach to Mecca. The city, once a symbol of their struggle and persecution, now stood before them as a place of potential peace and transformation. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, led his followers with a calm and steady resolve, guiding them towards their historic goal. The Quraysh, taken by surprise, could hardly believe the sight before them. The sheer size and discipline of the Muslim force made it clear that resistance would be futile. Panic and confusion spread among the Quraysh leaders, who quickly realized the enormity of the situation. However, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, had a different approach in mind, one of peace and reconciliation. As the Muslims entered Mecca, they did so with humility and discipline. The Prophet, peace be upon him, had instructed his followers to avoid unnecessary confrontation and bloodshed. Their aim was to win over the hearts of the people through mercy and compassion. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, himself entered the city riding a camel, his head bowed in humility. This gesture was a powerful symbol of his intention to reclaim Mecca peacefully. As he approached the Kaaba, the holy sanctuary at the heart of Mecca, he recited verses from the Qur'an, emphasizing the unity and sovereignty of Allah. Negotiations began with Abu Sufyan, a prominent leader of the Quraysh. Recognizing the strength and determination of the Muslims, Abu Sufyan ultimately submitted to the Prophet, peace be upon him. This act of submission marked a turning point, paving the way for a peaceful transition of power. The Kaaba, which had been filled with idols and symbols of polytheism, was now approached with reverence by the Muslims. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, entered the sanctuary and, with the help of his followers, began to remove the idols. This act symbolized the end of polytheism in Mecca and the establishment of monotheism. As the people of Mecca watched, they saw a leader who came not with vengeance, but with forgiveness. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, addressed the people, declaring, "There shall be no retribution today. You are free." His message of mercy and unity resonated deeply, leading many to embrace Islam. The peaceful entry into Mecca was a profound moment. It demonstrated the power of faith, compassion, and strategic leadership. The city, which had been a stronghold of opposition, was now transformed into the spiritual center of Islam. The Prophet's actions set a new standard for leadership, one that prioritized forgiveness and justice over conquest and revenge. The impact of this event was immediate and far-reaching. Mecca, now under the leadership of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, became a beacon of peace and unity. The message of Islam spread rapidly, and the Arabian Peninsula began to unify under the banner of a shared faith. The entry into Mecca was not just a military victory, it was a victory of the heart and spirit. It marked the beginning of a new era where faith and compassion could overcome long-standing enmity and division. With their mission accomplished, the Muslims looked to the future with hope and determination, ready to build a community based on the principles of Islam. A city transformed. With the peaceful entry into Mecca complete, the transformation of the city began. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and his followers set about reshaping Mecca into a center of Islamic faith and unity. This transformation was not just physical, but deeply spiritual and cultural. The first significant act was the purification of the Kaaba. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and his followers removed the idols and relics of polytheism that had filled the sanctuary for centuries. The Kaaba was rededicated to the worship of Allah alone, becoming a symbol of monotheism and the central place of worship for all Muslims. This act was a powerful statement of the new order that was being established. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, also worked to reconcile with the people of Mecca. His approach was marked by forgiveness and compassion. He declared a general amnesty for all but a few who had committed grave offenses. This act of mercy won over many hearts, as people saw in him a leader who prioritized peace and unity over revenge. The Prophet, peace be upon him, addressed the people of Mecca, affirming their safety and encouraging them to embrace the new faith. His message was one of unity and brotherhood, urging the people to let go of old enmities and come together as a single community. Many of the Meccans, moved by his words and actions, converted to Islam. In the days that followed, Mecca began to transform into a vibrant and thriving center of Islamic life. The teachings of Islam spread quickly among the population, as people were drawn to its message of equality, justice, and compassion. The city's social structure began to change, with the old tribal divisions giving way to a sense of unity under the banner of Islam. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, also took steps to integrate the new converts into the Muslim community. He appointed leaders from among the Quraysh, giving them important roles and responsibilities. This helped to solidify the bonds between the people of Mecca and the Muslims who had come from Medina. The city of Mecca, once a place of conflict and division, became a symbol of the power of faith to bring about change. The Kaaba, now free of idols, stood as a beacon of monotheism and the spiritual heart of the Islamic world. Pilgrims from all over Arabia began to come to Mecca to perform the Hajj, strengthening the unity of the Muslim community. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, continued to lead with wisdom and compassion, guiding the people of Mecca through this period of transition. He emphasized the importance of living according to the principles of Islam, which included justice, charity, and respect for others. Under his leadership, Mecca flourished. The city's markets bustled with activity, and its streets were filled with the sounds of prayer and the recitation of the Qur'an. The transformation of Mecca was a testament to the power of faith and the vision of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. The peaceful conquest of Mecca marked the beginning of a new era for the Arabian Peninsula. It demonstrated that lasting change could be achieved through compassion and forgiveness, rather than through force. The city, now a unified and thriving center of Islamic life, became a model for other communities to follow. In the years that followed, the message of Islam continued to spread, reaching far beyond the borders of Arabia. The transformation of Mecca was a pivotal moment in this journey, showing the world the true power of faith and the potential for unity and peace. Through the actions of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and his followers, Mecca was transformed from a city of conflict to a city of peace, from a place of division to a place of unity. This transformation laid the foundation for the growth of Islam and the unification of the Arabian Peninsula, setting the stage for the spread of the faith across the world. A message of forgiveness. With Mecca now under Muslim control, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, had a crucial message to deliver. Standing before the gathered people of Mecca, many of whom had once been his bitter enemies, he spoke words that would resonate through history. "There shall be no retribution today. You are free," he declared. This powerful statement of forgiveness set the tone for the new era. Rather than seeking revenge against those who had opposed him, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, chose mercy. His message was clear. Islam was a religion of peace, compassion, and unity. The people of Mecca, who had expected severe punishment, were taken aback by this unexpected leniency. Many of them had been involved in the persecution of Muslims, yet here was the Prophet, peace be upon him, offering them forgiveness and a chance to start anew. This act of clemency had a profound impact, breaking down long-standing barriers of fear and hatred. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, continued to address the people, emphasizing the importance of unity and brotherhood. He reminded them that all were equal in the eyes of Allah and that the bonds of faith should transcend old enmities and tribal divisions. His words were filled with hope and a vision for a harmonious future. "Whoever enters the house of Abu Sufyan is safe," he proclaimed, extending his protection even to his former adversaries. This gesture of goodwill further demonstrated his commitment to reconciliation and peace. By including prominent figures like Abu Sufyan, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, showed that there was a place for everyone in the new order, regardless of past conflicts. The message of forgiveness spread quickly throughout Mecca. Many who had been skeptical or hostile towards Islam were moved by the Prophet's, peace be upon him, actions and words. Conversions to Islam increased as people recognized the transformative power of his leadership. They saw in him not just a conqueror, but a true prophet who lived by the principles he preached. The impact of this message extended beyond Mecca. News of the prophet's, peace be upon him, merciful actions reached other tribes and communities, many of whom were influenced by his example. The approach of forgiveness and inclusion became a cornerstone of Islamic governance, setting a precedent for future leaders. In the days following the conquest, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, implemented policies that reflected his message of forgiveness. He ensured that the people of Mecca were treated with fairness and respect. His administration focused on justice, social welfare, and the equitable distribution of resources. These measures helped to heal the wounds of the past and build a unified community. The Prophet, peace be upon him, also took steps to educate the new converts in the teachings of Islam. He appointed knowledgeable companions to teach the Qur'an and the principles of the faith, fostering a deeper understanding and commitment among the people. This emphasis on education and spiritual growth helped to solidify the foundations of the newly united Meccan society. The message of forgiveness, delivered by Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, during the conquest of Mecca, remains a powerful example of leadership and compassion. It demonstrated that true strength lies not in vengeance, but in the ability to forgive and bring people together. His actions showed that a peaceful and just society could be built on the principles of mercy and unity. Through his words and deeds, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, transformed Mecca into a city of peace and harmony. His message of forgiveness laid the groundwork for the spread of Islam, as people from all corners of the Arabian Peninsula were drawn to the faith by its values of compassion and justice. The legacy of this message continues to inspire millions around the world, serving as a reminder of the enduring power of forgiveness and the potential for reconciliation and peace in even the most divided of communities. The aftermath. In the aftermath of the peaceful conquest of Mecca, the city underwent a profound transformation. Under the leadership of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, Mecca became the spiritual center of Islam, attracting pilgrims from across the Arabian Peninsula. The Kaaba, cleansed of idols, was re-established as the focal point of monotheistic worship. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, implemented policies of justice, social welfare, and equitable resource distribution, helping to heal past divisions and unify the community. His message of forgiveness and mercy resonated deeply, leading many Meccans to embrace Islam and fostering a sense of unity and peace. The peaceful conquest set a precedent for Islamic governance, emphasizing compassion and inclusion. The Arabian Peninsula began to unify under the banner of Islam, paving the way for the rapid spread of the faith beyond its borders. The legacy of the conquest of Mecca endures as a powerful example of the transformative power of faith, leadership, and forgiveness, highlighting the potential for reconciliation and unity in the face of long-standing enmity. The peaceful conquest of Mecca stands as a landmark moment in history, showcasing the power of faith, forgiveness, and strategic leadership. Under the guidance of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, Mecca was transformed from a city of conflict into the spiritual heart of Islam. This event demonstrated that true victory lies not in vengeance, but in compassion and mercy. Thanks for tuning in to today's video. If you enjoyed this video and found it interesting, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more content celebrating the Islamic heritage. Your support really helps spread these important stories and teachings. We hope that Allah brings peace, happiness, and success to you and your family.